Newcastle United have rejected the chance to sign £50 million Japanese Real Sociedad winger Kubo, and it's reported Fenerbahce are backing down on the chance to sign Lloyd Kelly. As it's reported, Newcastle wanted 17 million for the player. Looks like Miggy is heading for the door, and the PIF, with all this chat on PSR, have got some new sponsors around St. James's Park. Yes, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Hope you guys are all enjoying your Friday. Looking forward to the weekend and the chance to see Newcastle win their 10th game in a row. Can we do it? Get your predictions down in the comments. I will be at the game tomorrow. All the usual stuff, vlogs, these days, reels, Instagrams, TikToks, and reactions. So if you're not subscribed, be sure to do so. Fingers crossed, I will be celebrating on here after a few beers and a great game, and Isaac's 9th goal in 9, and Newcastle's 10th win in 10, and Bruno's 10th assist of the season. So yeah, lots of good stuff tomorrow, I hope. Predictions for the game down in the comments below. But as I say, loads of talk around the January window still. Reports coming out that Newcastle have agreed a £10 million fee for Miggy to go to Atalanta. He didn't want to go to Brazil, he didn't want to go to Saudi, but he seems keen on going back to his old club where we got him from 5 years ago. Lots of people have been kind of posting videos from the time. Just things change so quick. Just outside St. James's Park looks like a different place. Keith Downey looks like a different person from when he was reporting that 5 years ago to reporting the change now. So yeah, it's crazy how quickly time flies. But it looks like Miggy's heading out the door, and that's the big question mark. Will Newcastle go and bring in another right winger? Miggy gone, Barnes injured. Who's going to play right wing if, God help, nothing does, if something happened to Jacob Murphy? Well, Newcastle were offered the chance to buy a young talent. That's right, it's reported that Real Sociedad have been, or at least Newcastle have been looking into the option of signing Kubo. Now, if you are a fan of the Toon Review, as I am, you will have heard of this guy, as Paul, Stato and Billy and everyone have been talking about him a fair bit. He is just, I think, 23 years old, sorry, looking at a bit of paper in front of us here. Real Sociedad, Japanese, got a £50 million release clause, and it's reported that Newcastle were offered the opportunity and that we turned it down. Now, Eddie Howe was also asked this morning in his press conference about money. Do we have money? Where's it gone? Where's the Gahey money? You know, Craig Hope's been talking about that this morning as well, and I understand what Eddie Howe's saying. It's a massive frustration that we haven't gone out and spent. But what Eddie Howe said was there wasn't like a pot of gold at the end of ready for Gahey. If we spent the money on Gahey, we would have had to have sold more players this January or in the summer. It's all going to be like accounted for. And this goes straight back to Darren Eales and why Newcastle aren't doing a good enough job of player trading. You talk about the 3 years of PSR. Basically, at the minute, we're doing nothing because we've maxed out our 3 years of PSR. What we're waiting for, effectively, or what it would seem, is for the first year to drop off. So that first year, when we signed Pope, when we signed Target, when we signed Byrne, when we signed Bruno, and we spent, like, every year, the PIF have spent the £70 million they're allowed to on top of our actual incomings. Soon, that year is going to drop off. And we'll have, you know, the last year or two we've kind of not spent anything. We'll then have that first year's allowance back available to us again to go and push even further. And I think that's kind of what's happening. Newcastle are kind of trying to make do right now and wait for the summer. The alternative is we sell Almiron. We sell Kelly. Reported that Fenerbahce went in for a £6 million, £11 million bid, and Newcastle said we want 17, and they have stepped away. You can let me know your thoughts on that down below, because again, let go of Almiron, let go of Kelly, let go of Trippier, let go of Wilson, you know, and then bring players in. I'm not saying let them go and then do nothing. Let them go, bring someone in, player trade and roll. And like, because if we sold Almiron for 10 and bought someone this January, Kubo, for 50, on a 5-year deal, Pay 10 million this year, 10 million next year, 10 million next year, 10 million next year. And it's fair enough to say, well, Miggy will cover year 1, but what about year 2? What about year 3? But that's the whole point of player trading. We're literally constantly buying and selling people. It's like a rotating door of players, because every time you sell them, you get the full value straight back that you can then use to cover that year. But you're only having to cover a fifth of your purchase. Darren Neal spoke about it 3 years ago, and it's very true that we haven't been good enough at it. And is that why we should be taking the chance to let a free transfer like Kelly go? I understand Eddie Howe's point of view as well. He's in a position where he's top 4, challenging for potentially a cup this year, and will want to sell out all of his players and probably not have the time to do a good deal this January. So yes, there you go. That's the Kelly and that's the Kubo stuff. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I hope if Miggy goes, there is still an opportunity for Newcastle to do some work. But what's being pushed out from Newcastle is still that there's nothing happening this January, which is massively infuriating. And when you think that we are so close to Europe, if we double down and push now, it can get us to where we want to go. But I think Newcastle are probably hoping to just hold out. We'll do it anyway. And then we'll have the bumper summer that we're all waiting for. But the PIF aren't waiting around. They are trying to bring in some extra cash. As some of you eagle-eyed eagle eyes might have seen if you were at the game or if you're watching on telly, there are some new sponsorship boards at Newcastle. And it's not the Adidas that's flying around at the moment. It's not Noon. It's not Saudi Air or... What's the other one? What's the parcel thing that was sponsored by loads of stuff now? The PIF themselves had sponsorship boards flying around the outside of St. James's Park now. It's quite famously, well, I'll say alleged just to be sure, but quite famously thought of that Mike Ashley had all of the Sports Direct boards around Newcastle, and it was, well, again, allegedly, Newcastle didn't get any money for it. That was Big Mike's whole plan, really, was to buy a football club and then promote his own business. You can know damn sure that the PIF will be paying for the boards that they have around the outside of St. James's Park. And it might not be the biggest boost, but you should hope it will certainly be one, and that money will be going straight into the transfer coffer. I mean, that's a big thing that we've been too slow with. Well, we'll talk about being slow with player trading. Where's the training ground sponsor? You know, where's the extra sponsors at St. James? I know these things don't grow on trees, and it takes a little bit of time to get them over the line, but it's been a while since the Adidas one, and I suppose we've just re-released the top. As returning viewers of the channel will know that top has been moved slightly. I won't say why. You have to go back and watch other videos to find out. But yeah, it's clear that we are trying to do something with the new sponsorships at St. James's. But where's the training ground sponsor? Like, I don't want St. James's Park to change their name. But, you know, if it was St. James's Park incorporated by Saudi Air and we got an extra 100 million a season, I think a lot of people would probably get on board with that. Top sponsor, there's loads more that we can be doing. Building hotels. I think a lot of it seems to be on hold until we decide what to do with the stadium, if I'm perfectly honest, because that is what they want to be the moneymaker. But massive article from The Athletic the other day that I've never really got a chance to talk about goes through how tough it would be to basically make it happen. And I would also say as well that it's a weird one. I'm back and forth on the new stadium all the time, if I'm honest, because there's parts of me that understands that for this club to really progress under this ridiculous FFP stuff, that the stadium would be a huge help. But have you seen the games of late? The crowds, the cheering, you know, Bromley visiting St. James's Park and talking about what a fantastic stadium. And I'm not saying the new one won't be, but do we really want to risk it? So yeah, fair bit to talk about there, but as I've said already, I will be at the game tomorrow, hoping for another big one. Let me know your thoughts on Almiron. I think it is time for him to go. What about Kelly? Should Newcastle have taken the chance to sell him to Fenerbahce? Should we be looking to strengthen right winger this season, or can Murphy do it all on his own? What do you think of the PIF getting the new boards around the stadium to help with sponsorship money? I like it, but do you think they should be still doing more? Right, there you go. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later.